Ready?
Yes.
Okay. Whew. All right. What's up, guys? Hello, everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. What's up? I'm Giselle.
And I'm Lynn.
And you're listening to our second episode of Sonographers in the Cities.
As today's topic will cover all the specialties in sonography.
Yes, so if you're ready to learn about everything that we scan, this episode is for you. It's a lot, so I hope you stick through the whole thing because there's a lot of things that we do other than babies.
Yes. And we are in the second week of Medical Ultrasound Awareness Month. And last week's episode is a success, on what we thought of. We reached over 100 downloads before our first episode aired. So that's like amazing. We did not believe that we could have done that. So thank you to all of you who's supported us, listened to our intro episode.
Yeah, thank you guys. We are just kind of blown away at all the support and just everyone, sharing our podcast, sharing our posts about it. It's just been wild. We really didn't expect that at all. This idea just like kind of came and it flowed through just, randomly. And here we are now. So thank you guys so much.
Yes, thank you for all your support. We'll continue to bring you the content that you're already sending us. And that's for our future episodes. Cannot wait to cover all the topics that you sent. I think we have, I'd say, over 30 topics right now.
Wow. That's crazy. Yeah, it's definitely going to be a wild ride. There's so much to talk about in ultrasound in general. And I mean, of course, it's Ultrasound Awareness Month. We can't cover everything about ultrasound in just this 1 month. So hopefully you guys stick through with us through our podcast world. And, don't forget to fill out that form in our bios on our Instagrams or on the YouTube channel in the description box. We've got those links for you guys everywhere to just basically tell us what you want to hear. And if you want to be part of it too, let us know.
And
it's okay.
And please don't forget to subscribe or follow on any channels that you're listening to. I believe Spotify, you can also set your notifications. So for future episodes, don't forget that's how you can tune in to us.
Yes, you guys. There are so many things that you can do to help us and just to be part of this and to never miss an episode. So social media just really is a huge resource for you guys. So remember that we're just here to do this with you guys.
Yes, and to have fun with you.
Yay.
All right, I want to mention a little bit about last week's topic, sonographers versus ultrasound tech. I was in clinicals the other day and I realized that my clinical site, on the official report for sonographers, they put technologists. So I believe that the root cause to changing from ultrasound tech to sonographers is from the institutions or workplace, because once they start there, patients will see what a sonographer is and they will instantly hopefully connect that their ultrasound tech is really a sonographer. And that is, I think, I really, really believe that that is like one of the major ways that we can really push our barriers into the whole medical field, that everyone knows who a sonographer is.
Yeah, I think it starts with us and saying, hey, I'm a sonographer. And then, your job saying they have sonographers. Like, I'll tell you, at my hospital, we're medical sonographers. On our badge, it says sonographer. And I'll tell you at other places it says technologist, which is, fine because that's what it's been. But now we're trying to push this movement to say, okay, we're sonographers. And so if you truly believe in that and you truly believe that you're a sonographer, push that out there into the world so people can know, okay, nurse or sonographer, and that's why it's so confusing when people say radiology tech, technologist, technician. I mean, I know there's all these words that are interchangeable, but it's up to us, right, to start saying we're sonographers. So yeah, that's so interesting. I remember she texted me that and she was like, look, it says technologist.
And on for Mount Sinai, where I am interning, the their badges says technologist. So I think that really is, and for them who are sonographers, they believe that they're technologists, even though they invested the time, money, energy into obtaining the credentials that is in their job requirement. So I find it very frustrating for workplaces that requires you to graduate from an accredited program, acquire your credentials, but still call you technologists, you know?
Yeah.
So I think we should really push this movement so that everyone should be known for who they actually are and deserve to be.
Yep. Starts with us, you guys. So start calling yourselves sonographers.
And tell your supervisors if there's technologists, tech anywhere in your workplace, please correct them and please speak up so that everyone knows. Or if you but know anyways, let us know and we can hopefully contact like an organization or something or anything that can change this.
Yeah, it's a new thing that we kind of want to push out. Of course, people who have been in this field for a long time are going to say whatever they want to say, which is fine. I mean, they're the ones who've been in here for the longest. But of course, we want to spread the awareness and create, a safe space for us to just be able to share how we feel and our opinions. And of course, we feel like sonographer is what you deserve to be called, and that's how it should be moving forward. So if you can remember from the textbook that Lynn had read to us the definitions between an ultrasound technician, technologist versus a sonographer, of course, that's, and your workplace is requiring you to have registries, which is why we're talking about that today. You should be called sonographer. ARDMS stands for sonography, sonographer. If you look on the website, everything says sonographer. So let's just start there.
Yes, start from the organization that is certifying us and allowing us to get jobs.
Yeah. So, I mean, that topic in itself, you guys, it's a lot, it's a conversation, but yeah, that's just where we stand on it. And we hope that you guys also can hear us out when we say that.
Yes, and carry this conversation amongst yourself, your coworkers, your colleagues, so that we can be accurately represented because we put effort into our education and money. So be
Yeah.
proud. Be proud to be
Be
sonographer.
proud. Yes. Happy Ultrasound Awareness Month.
Doing it strong.
Oh, yeah.
All right, so let's continue on to our specialties, which we need to be registered for our credentials. And there are so many. Giselle, would you like to start on some specialties? Since I know you've
Sure.
got a lot of specialties.
Sure. So, yeah, of course. Like, basically, in order to become a registered sonographer, which is what everybody is aiming to be while they're in school, you want to go through ARDMS. And if you go to their website, ardms.org, they'll tell you everything you need to know. It's American Registry for Diagnostic Medical Sonography. And I personally have my RDMS and RVT credential. So these are those letters that go after your name once you take your board exams. Now, in order to take these board exams, you have to take your SPI, which is physics and instrumentation. So that's a whole nother topic in itself. So everyone that takes these ARDMS board exams already took their SPI and are now taking their specialty exam. So I am RDMS, which has to do with things like the abdomen, breast, and then it also has to do with OBGYN, so like babies and pelvic, right? Pediatric sonography, and that's all kind of like together under the RDMS tab. Okay, so on here on the website, it also includes fetal echo, but that also is its own, echo is its own thing. So Lynn can talk about echo later, but it all kind of, when you go to the tabs, it'll tell you what registries will fall under RDMS. And then there's RVT, which is vascular. Vascular has just the one vascular exam, and you become a registered vascular technologist. So that one is probably one of the most other common and known registries, because some people do go just to do vascular. So you might just have RVT only after your name if you just do vascular. And then there's registered musculoskeletal sonographer, which is RMSKS, and they do musculoskeletal exams, which Lynn will go more into depth. And then she's got the registered diagnostic cardiac sonographer, RDCS. So that includes adult, fetal, and pediatric echo. And like I said, if you go to their website, it's all there organized for you guys. I know it sounds confusing when you hear all these letters and registries, but just go to their website, check it out, see what each registry falls under, and those are the letters that are going to go after your name. And unfortunately, it's way different than like nursing. People go into nursing and they do one test, one NCLEX, right? And then for us, it's like all these exams. There's a whole bunch of different exams, because just because you're RDMS, you can pass one specialty board exam, but then there's also other ones you can pass. So I personally have abdomen and pediatric sonography. So I have 2 credentials under RDMS, and then I have the vascular credential under RBT. So yeah, that's a lot. But there's even more. Like I'll tell you, most of my coworkers have all of them, all of the RDMS plus RBT, because my work requires you to have vascular and one other board exam, which is pediatric board exam, the pediatric registry. So yeah, you can use board exam, registry, all interchangeably. But yeah, so it's a lot, but it's all there written out for you on ardms.org.
I find it really interesting that fetal echo is in part of our DMS as well as our DCS, which is registered diagnostic cardiac sonographer. So cardiac sonographer, which entails the heart. So adult echo, fetal echo, pediatric echo. I personally I love adult echo, but I want to go into pediatrics and fetal echo. I love watching baby hearts that I see, people's studies, and then that's cardiac, and then we have, as Giselle said, musculoskeletal, which is just goes into details of your muscles, tendons, ligaments, nerves, and joints. I did not know that was a specialty until I looked up into ARDMS, because I was looking for which specialties do I want to go for. And my school only has general OBGYN or cardiac and vascular. Well, I chose echo and vascular. And then another specialty that I find really interesting is for midwives only. It's the midwife sonography examination. And honestly, I don't know any information about it. Do you, Giselle?
Unfortunately, I don't.
So if you're listening and you have this credential, please reach out to us. We'd love to get to know you and the whole process of this credentials because it's really fascinating because and it's all under ARDMS.
Yeah, so let us know if you have the midwife sonography certificate because I don't know anything about it. And I don't want to speak on behalf of it because I don't know anything about it.
Yes, thing, me too. And I'm most curious about what makes it different from the OBGYN.
Yeah, so if anyone knows that answer or knows somebody, please let us know and fill out that form or message one of us.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, there's a lot of different registries. Of course, cardiac is its own world, and vascular is its own world, and then RDMS is its own world. Now, the thing that confuses a lot of people is like they go, oh, I want to specialize in abdomen. Am I only going to scan abdomen? No, I don't think that's how it's you have to think of it as, because in a hospital setting, the sonographer is able to typically scan anything that is given to them, depending on where you work and live. Now, this is the hard part because the inconsistency lies in the system. Because I'll tell you, over here in the West Coast, general sonographers, we do everything, including vascular, and not the heart. Okay, so let's see. In the East Coast, I'm not sure if is it your place where they have a vascular and then an echo and then a general area? Yeah,
At least with my clinical site at Mount Sinai. So
yeah,
everything's separated.
right. So on her hospital, everything's separated. So you can't do general and vascular together, and you can't do vascular and echo together. And at my hospital, general and vasculars together. So me and my coworkers, we do everything except for the heart. And then there's the separate echo department who are who their credentials are RDCS, but they're their own department. So this is where it gets confusing for everyone because one, you have to know what your program is offering you. Are they offering you the general RDMS program? Are they offering you the vascular only program? Are they offering you cardiac only or cardio and vascular together? So that's why we can't be so specific on things, and it's dependent on where you go to school and where you learn. And that's why having these registries behind your name is important, because wherever you find your job, they're going to ask you, what registries do you have? What can you scan? You can know how to scan everything and only have one specialty registry, right? Isn't that confusing?
Very confusing, especially for I recently received a lot of questions from prospective students saying that I want to specialize in neuro, I want to specialize in fetal, I want to specialize in pediatrics, but no programs, at least that I know of, have those specialties or concentration tracks in those programs. So how do students know which programs they go to when the specific specialty that they're looking for is not there?
Exactly. So this is where we can educate you guys and let you know what you can do. Obviously, neuro, I always tell people when they want to do neuro, it's kind of confusing because you're like, okay, neuro, probably vascular, right? Mm, well, most neuro ultrasounds are done in an ICU or where there are pediatric cases, because if you look up neurosonography, it's usually of the brain, and we do transcranial Dopplers. That's basically what neuro ultrasound is. And you have to do transcranial Dopplers where there is an ICU or babies, because we scan baby brains. And that's where you're going to have to do your research almost. If you don't know where to start, you've got to find a program that will offer you a place to do clinicals in a pediatric hospital or somewhere where they do neurosonography. So how is somebody going to do neuro if they don't get the experience to do it, right? Because then once you're like through your process and you're already registered, like let's say vascular or RDMS, and you had no practice in neuro, you're gonna have to learn that on the job while you're working, or find somewhere that's going to train you to do that. And when people tell me, oh, I only want to specialize in OBGYN, I only want to do OB, you can do that, but you still have to go through a general program and learn abdomen. Probably they'll make you learn vascular and breast and all the 9 yards, but you want to only special in OB. You take your OB exam and only work for an OB office. But you see, you still have to learn whatever the program is offering you. And so that's why it gets kind of confusing.
Yes, and from personal experience, my instructor, my echo instructor, she is a cardiac sonographer as well as a vascular sonographer. And she says she does not like vascular, but she loves echo. But she still holds 2 credentials and she still does 2 studies or 2 exams at her job.
Yeah. And that's the thing about cardiac. You can be a cardiac sonographer, which only does the heart, or a cardiac or cardiovascular hospital sonographer, where you do cardiac and vascular. Because there are people who do cardiac who don't know vascular. So it all stems off and starts where you go to school, because that school is going to be the one to help you figure out, okay, what registry specialty board exam can you take? So it is very important to choose the right school and the right route that you're going to eventually want to do. So make sure you're doing your research.
Yeah. And we will go into depth with another episode of programs and which types of programs is best for you, accredited and non-accredited, and all that stuff. So that will be for future episodes.
Yes, there's obviously so much to say and talk about. But today we just wanted to let you guys know that ultrasound isn't just scanning babies like we're mostly known for. Sonographers know so much. And as you can tell with all these different registries, we have to know a lot of anatomy, pathology. I mean, in abdomen alone, you have to know everything about the gallbladder, kidneys, spleen, pancreas, liver.
I totally agree because I'm learning echo and I have to learn the insides and outsides of the heart. I feel like I'm turning the heart inside out, like looking at the papillary muscles to the chordae tendineae, and it just amazes me how in depth we're looking at each organ, and the fact that we have to know the textbook anatomy, like the most common anatomy of everyone, as well as the what's the word? The variations.
Yeah, variations, pathology. People are born, or well, we're all supposed to have the same organs and the same things. We're supposed to, but people are born with different varieties of things. Like your kidneys could be born together. Oh, you guys can't see me on the podcast. Like my fingers are going together. Like there's a horseshoe kidney. It looks like a horseshoe. Like the inferior poles are actually connected. And we have to be able to see that under ultrasound. Like that's mind blowing, I think, that we can figure these things out. And like somebody could have never known they had a horseshoe kidney until they got an ultrasound or something, you know? It's just mind blowing.
It's really cool that you can see inside a person.
With sound. But
Another thing that I just thought of this month, along with Medical Ultrasound Awareness Month, is Breast Cancer Awareness Month.
yes.
And how do we find breast cancer?
Yeah, you guys, breast cancer is found not only under mammo, but ultrasound. Do people realize that the two go hand in hand? Is that why they put them in the same month? I don't know.
I don't know, but a lot of on my social media feeds, it's like October is Breast Cancer Awareness Month, but how
Yeah.
can you find breast cancer if you don't do ultrasound and mammograms?
Right. And ultrasound and mammograms go together. For those of you who don't know, in the outpatient setting, breasts are done typically hand in hand with a mammo and an ultrasound. Now, there's a specific age you have to be where they want you to start doing your mammos and just do yearly annual mammo checkups because obviously women, this is very important. If you can find cancer before it becomes something else, then if you can find it early, do it. And that's why they start us off. I believe it's like in the early, I don't know if it's like, I think it's 40.
40.
Yeah, or earlier than that if you have family history
Oh,
of
yeah.
cancer. But also they don't typically want you to go through mammo if you're younger, right? And then what do? They do an ultrasound. But even then, whenever you get a mammo, you typically get an ultrasound as well. And so what it looks like on ultrasound kind of helps them see what it looks like on mammo, right? So I learned all this stuff when I learned breast in the outpatient setting. And it's just fascinating because obviously it's like ultrasound's hard. You guys, like, don't get me wrong, we make it look easy, but it's hard. I remember scanning breasts and I'm like, oh my gosh, everything looks the same, like breast tissue. It all looks the same. But then, when you can find things, especially when it comes to mammo, it helps you. They come hand in hand. And that's why all the modalities are important together because we all kind of piggyback on one another. And I don't know, I just find breast ultrasound fascinating because we don't do it actually a lot in the hospital. It's mostly an outpatient thing.
I personally, I know my mom gets mammograms, but I have a history of breast cancer in my family. So that is very important to me personally.
Hmm. Yeah. So and so you're gonna get your ultrasounds and mammos a little bit earlier than everybody else, but
Well,
it's all preventative care. That's it.
preventative care is key. And for women out there, please check your breasts to make
Yes.
sure. If you have any suspicions, contact your PCP or your doctor, medical provider.
Hmm. Yeah, we just want to make sure that we're all kind of doing our part to figuring things out. And obviously, the medical field, we do a lot, but we're also human. So just know that the people behind doing your exams and ultrasounds, we know a lot of stuff in our head, but we're human too. We're not perfect, but we're doing our best to help you guys. So I just want to remind people that when we're doing these podcasts, we're not only speaking to, sonography students, sonographers, we're also talking to those wanting to go into this field or thinking about it or just kind of wanting to learn more about ultrasound. And we have to provide our experiences. Like I've been doing this for years and here's Lynn just kind of going into it. And we're just trying to let you guys know about the medical field. And so there's so much to it, so much more than people think. But remember, people behind these machines and behind the technology is a human being. So,
Yes. And that's what we're here for. We're just telling you our experiences, the I'm blanking out.
it's okay.
But yeah.
Yes. I mean, basically, we just want you guys to know that we have to go as sonographers, we go through a lot to become a sonographer and to be there for you and to be bedside next to you and help you figure things out. So, of course, you want your sonographer to be competent and have a registry. You want your sonographer to be RDMS or RBT or RDCS. You don't want just some random stranger scanning you and hoping that they get the best, you know? So, hopefully you've got a sonographer that really cares about what they're doing and gets you all the images that you need and accurately helps the doctor diagnose you. And that's the purpose of having these registries. That's the purpose of ARDMS.
Yes, and that's what this channel is for as well, just to bring out the aspect of all the specialties of sonography. And it really is a lot. It's um, everywhere in the body, from your brain to the tip of your toes. Really, we do we do scan the tip of your toes. I did that the other day at clinicals.
Oh gosh. Yeah, it's a lot. We know so much. There's so much to study, so much to learn. You'll never see everything in your lifetime, honestly. And there's sonographers who've been doing ultrasound for so many years and still haven't seen things, right? I mean, I've seen situs inversus twice, and there's going to be some sonographers out there who've never seen a situs inversus. And that's where all your organs are flipped on the other side of the body. Guess you didn't bet you didn't know that, So
Did not know that.
yeah, it's really cool to know that there's a lot of different variations and things that you can see under ultrasound. But it all starts with school. It all starts with getting your registries and becoming a registered diagnostic medical sonographer in the first place. And it's important, to have these things. It's obviously important for nurses and doctors and phlebotomists, laboratory people to have their credentials in order to do their job. And so this is why we're just bringing the awareness, letting you guys know that it's going to be a long road if you're currently thinking about going into ultrasound, but I promise you it's worth it.
Yes, and with the next episode, we'll talk more in depth about programs and different types of programs that we know of, that the people, the students that we have connected with, and we'll tell you more about what resources is best for you to start on your journey as to be a sonographer.
Yes, you guys, there's only so much we can say in these podcasts in such a small amount of time. So just bear with us if we miss something, or if you want to know more, just comment below on our YouTube channels, on our Instagrams, in the form. Let us know, please, because we can talk for hours, I promise you.
Really, we do. So thank you so much for listening to our second episode. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you take away at least one thing that we talked about today and carry on that conversation to your family, friends, colleagues. It's just like sonography really is an important field for all of us because we do help in diagnosing patients and your loved ones. If there's anyone who is like sick or anything, we're the ones that can see inside your body.
Yeah, just know that we're doing this with a passion to help you guys and to spread awareness. So I appreciate you guys. Me and Lynn both are so excited for what's to come. I know we can talk so much more, but yeah, definitely you guys stay tuned for the next episode.
Yes, stay tuned. Don't forget to follow, subscribe wherever you're listening to, and rate us wherever you can rate us. I know Spotify you can't rate, so please rate us wherever you can. Give us feedbacks. We'd love to improve so that the podcast is the content that you're listening for.
Yes, definitely let us know. We are sonographers for a reason. We're able to take constructive criticism because you're going to be getting that for the rest of your life as a sonographer. So just know that we're here, we're listening, and we can see what you guys are saying. So thank you guys so much.
Yes, thank you. Until next time.
Bye.
Bye.